Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bud, I'm going to remember that. You gave me a standing ovation. That's a hell of a start by me right there now. I never thought that would happen. Thank you guys for having me. Bud, John, all these guys are saying, Derek, you know, the media they want to talk to you. They want to, you know, and so there's this perception that I'm hunkered down, avoiding the media. I said, I hadn't done anything. I mean, nothing's happened. So I know everybody's wanting to know, what are we doing over there? And I think it really starts with, we're putting together a lot of teams. It's one big team, but it's a lot of little teams, starting with a coaching staff, starting with the players, starting with the administrative support. And to do that at a place with the amount of resources as Tennessee and the number of people at Tennessee, it takes a little time. But I do think it starts with kind of developing a mission of who we are, what we stand for, what we're doing. And that's what I've been trying to put my energy on the last few weeks. Forge a consistent philosophy so we get all these parts moving in the same direction. And I think what happens at a lot of these programs that has so much resource, so many people, that if we're not all working together for the same goal, then it can get a little bit disjointed. Sometimes we lose sight that these young men are 18, 19, 20 years old, and we're asking them to go perform at the highest level on national television in front of 107,000. There's a lot of expectations on how they're supposed to perform. There's a lot of expectations on what the team's supposed to perform. And don't forget they're 19-year-old college students. If they don't believe that you don't care about them, if they think you don't really care about them, they're never going to perform the way you want them to perform. The second thing is they have to believe that you can help them play better. So that's the coaching part, the competency level. But they all go hand in hand. If you're a great football coach, but they think you don't care about them, they're never going to perform to their capacity. If all you do is love them and hug them, but you can't coach, you're not going to win any games either, but you're going to have a lot of happy people. So trying to, except the fans, of course, trying to forge those two, that to me is the trick, and that's what great coaches do. Now, at the end of the day, I believe this, that we need to have two things for you guys. All right, number one, we need to have players and a team that are fun to watch by how they compete, by how they lay it on the line. You know, my father never sat down and taught me X's and O's. I know that surprises y'all. We didn't sit down at the dinner table and draw up plays. All right, most of the time he wasn't there anyway to draw up plays. But he did always say that fans may not know the intricacies of the X's and O's, all right, but they do know when a player's not putting his heart onto the field and playing with great effort, playing with great toughness, playing with the intangibles it takes to win. All right, I believe that, and sometimes fans know it better than coaches. I've had these arguments with my staff. Sometimes you guys see it before we do. We get so caught up in the trees, we lose sight of the forest. So, number one, we're going to work hard to try to create a team that's fun to watch for you guys. And number two, what goes hand in hand with that is that they represent you, this institution, this program, with class and dignity on and off the field. All right, those two things, I believe, if we can ultimately achieve those two things, then you guys are going to be real proud of this program. All right. Thank you.
Anytime a coach comes in the first year, is not going to be his best year because he's got new coaches, new players he's not familiar with, new schemes, all that sort of stuff. We've been through 3 or 4 schemes, different offenses and defenses the last 3 or 4 years, so why should this year be any different? I think our expectation level may be a little bit higher, but in reality, it could be the other way for a year or two. I think that he is a giant leap in integrity from last year, and I'm really glad to see him here.
Thank you so much,
right,
and welcome to Big Orange.
Appreciate it. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.